Hi, I'm back again. Hey, hey. Yvonne up here, friendly Amolo with African descent. And today we chose a topic which has ended up opening up a Pandora box, a can of worms. It's got so many things in it. It's a really, really uncomfortable topic. Even I got totally emotional talking about it. But hey, we can't avoid everything. We have to discuss some of these things. So, originally, I just wanted to talk about colorism. Yeah, how it came about, because colorism, most of you may know, came about when the white master forced himself on his black female slave, and they had a child who was, well, mixed, black and white, and lighter skinned. So colorism is actually the prejudice people have, people from the same race have, of the different skin tones. So the lighter skinned slave girl, baby girl, was brought to the master's house, and she served there, and she got different privileges. She was even allowed to go to school, and in turn she had to always kind of spy on her black folks and give the master information and all of this. So there's still this uncomfortable feeling also among, when you go back to the colonized lands, among people who are darker skinned and lighter skinned. I talked to a friend of mine from Brazil, Glady Kumuli, who we will see later in the interviews, about what it is like in Brazil with colorism, because I know it is still quite present in the Brazilian culture. And during this time, the slave masters looked for different ways to try and divide us, to try and make us fight with each other. So they brought out, because with time they couldn't tell who was really black and who wasn't anymore, because we kept on getting lighter and lighter skinned. So they came up with different ways to try and find out. Like they had the blue vein test, where they would actually look at your hand to see your veins, and if they could see your blue veins because you were that much light skinned, then you were white. If they couldn't see your veins, you were black. Then they had, like you can see in my hair, I know you were wondering about that, they had the pencil test, where they would put pencils in our hair, and if it didn't fall out, like mine, stays in your hair, then you're black. Then they had the comb test, which they also used for our hair, and if the comb stayed in your hair too, you were black. Then they had one which went on for quite a long time, even in South Africa, called the brown paper bag test. This one is even mentioned in Brazil. So the brown paper bag test, they used the brown paper bag, like this one I have here, and they would try and find out if your skin tone matched or was lighter or darker than the paper bag. If your skin tone was as dark as mine and it didn't match the paper bag, you were black. If your skin tone was lighter than the paper bag or the color of the paper bag, then you were white. This brown paper bag test existed for so long. They had fraternity brown paper bag parties with it. They actually used the brown paper bag at the churches to try and prevent black people to go to churches to follow their cultures even more. They used the brown paper bag all over the place. Yeah. So when we started this, like I said, we were going to do colorism, but we went on further. The colorism led us on to other things. Colorism led us to blackfishing. Colorism led us on to white fragility, white tears, gaslighting, cultural appropriation, and finally, the whole topic led us to transracial. And we are still asking, is there anything as transracial? I invited a lady from Germany, a German lady, to talk to us about this, because she was the best example I could find to show cultural appropriation, to open the can of transracial, and just to make people understand how bad colorism can be, the effects it has, and the effects of cultural appropriation. My next guest, you will see, opens up this door.